What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. It's been a while. I hope everyone's having a great back to school week if your kids are still in school. And I hope especially for the folks here in Michigan, it's a hot one. It's a hot one. So everyone, stay inside if you can. If you are working outside, take breaks. Make sure you're hydrated. And if you live around elderly folks, or if your family is elderly, go ahead and check in on them. They might just need your helping hand. But let's get into today's topic. Yes, this is Tuesdays with Turbo. I am Ryan Turbo Jackson, and I am your insurance resource. And a lot of times on videos, I like to break down insurance coverages, language, but today's kind of a weird one. And this has happened not once, but a handful of times here in the last couple weeks. So I figured if it's happening here, it's probably happening everywhere. So this one goes out to folks that have mortgages in particular. And I have one of the letters here that we got from one of our insureds. And I was going to take a photo of it and kind of put it up on the screen, but there is some kind of personal information. So I figured, nah, better not. Better not. So, but I will read it. I will go over it and kind of give you a how-to, or kind of some instructions as to um, what to do if this does happen to you. So, long story short, we're going to get into what is hazard insurance, and I'm going to go hazard insurance in air quotes because it's kind of a weird scenario. I mean, and this is something too that I've seen in the past, but not really phrased this way, I guess. So I figured if it's new to me, I'll pass it along to you folks, because that's what we do here. Now, what this is hazard insurance is a fancy lender or mortgage term for home insurance. Why they can't just say, hey, we need a copy of your home insurance, it's kind of beyond me. I don't work in the mortgage industry, so I can't really give you a good answer on that one. But what I can do is let you know on the insurance side, if you do have if you do have home insurance, that is indeed hazard insurance. Now, when we get these types of requests, it's normally when we get a new client that does have a mortgage, or we get a client that is a current client that's refinancing, or it's a new purchase for them. So that's usually when we kind of get these requests. Now, what kind of happens is, when you take the new business, for example, you're currently with XYZ company, you give me a call like, Ryan, I want a home quote. This looks good. Let's go with this. I have a mortgage. Here's, the mortgagee information's on my current declaration page. So normally, the transition goes extremely smooth. But here's where the kicker comes in. A lot of times, your mortgage company will sell your mortgage to someone else, and they usually send you or your insurance agency an update, update the mortgagee clause to this. And sometimes throughout the chain of events here, either a part of the mortgagee clause is left off, or it's phrased completely different from what the information we got. Is it a big deal? No, no, except for, except for, like this client here, they gave them a certain time period to get the correct documentation over, or they were going to put force placed insurance on them, which we've talked about previously. But if you didn't join us for that one, what force placed insurance is a very expensive and not a whole lot of coverage policy that your lender will buy for you and charge you for it, and until you are able to either get new insurance or finally get the documents over. The big kicker is, a lot of times, if this policy has already been in place, you didn't check your mail, you didn't get it to your agent, any number of things can happen. The likelihood of them actually refunding any of that varies by lender. So kind of keep that in mind. And in particular, and this is right on the document that I was referring to, it says, the insurance we buy, may be significantly more expensive than the insurance you can buy for yourself, and may not provide as much coverage as an insurance policy you buy yourself. This is in this document that the lender sent to one of our insureds, which leads me to believe that yes, this is astronomically expensive, and like we talked about in the prior video, a lot of times only covers for fire. Now, as if you're a homeowner, there can be a number of other perils that could cause a claim other than fire. And that's where the hairy situation comes in. And for the price they charge, you would think that they would at least cover, I don't know, weather, because weather is a whole heck of a lot more frequent claim than fire. But that's just me. That's just me. And to kind of go through the document here, it says our records show that your hazard insurance has expired. And we do not have evidence that you have obtained new coverage. Because hazard insurance is required on your property, we plan to buy insurance for your property. You must pay us for any period during which the insurance we buy is in effect, for which you do not have insurance. So basically what they're saying is, if we don't get proof that you already have a policy, or that you're getting a policy in this little time frame that they give you, we're going to buy insurance for you. And like I said, like it said here, vastly more expensive and not as good a coverage. So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. And then add on top of it, if your home and auto is bundled, so you get that that discount. So it seems to me that yes, and I can understand why they do it as kind of a scare tactic, I guess you could say. But you think they would word it a little bit differently so that folks really aren't just going out of their mind being like, oh man, I bought this home policy from Ryan. He didn't do something right. So now my lender's saying that I need a whole other policy. Otherwise, they're going to force place insurance on me that's vastly expensive and crappy coverage. Pump the brakes. That's not the case at all. And in this case, it was just there was 2 letters left out of the mortgagee clause that I updated and sent to the lender. No harm, no foul. So if you do catch yourself in one of these situations, and like I said, happens from time to time, I'm not going to say is extremely common, but can be common. So don't think that your agent did something incorrect, or that your lender's just coming out of left field with something that is completely asinine. It does happen. It does happen. And occasionally too, we're all human. The loan number needs to be exact. And a lot of times there's a lot of zeros or a lot of ones. And I've had it happen to myself where I miscounted the number of zeros, and we had to update that and send it back over to the lender. So when you find yourself in this situation, all you have to do is give your agent a call. Be like, hey, I got this document. And normally I was like, you know what, just send me the document or take a photo of it, send it to me. I'll take care of it. That's part of my job. This isn't something that you should have to worry about. And, this is the service part of the insurance industry, which is part of the job. And it's something that that's what I'm paid to do. So your agency your agent or agency might view things a little differently, but there are ways here that this insured could provide a declaration page over on their website. Yes, and if that's what you want to do, perfect. But if there does need to be changes, then that's something that myself or Mary or the folks in your office would have to handle. And it's just easier for us to ship it out to whoever they want and make sure they have our contact in case something like this happens, or if the mortgagee clause isn't exactly the way they want it. So that way we're kind of taking out the middleman, if you will, and we can handle things behind the scenes so you don't have to worry about it. In that way too, they're also, they're seeing the changes trying to be made. Might not be exactly the way they want it yet, but with the communication that the lender and myself are doing, we can take care of that with great ease instead of them mailing you another document, and then you calling me, and we have to go through the whole process again. So it's something that I like to take off the plate of our insureds, because it's just way easier for us to take care of it for you. So that's kind of my little spiel this week. Hazard insurance, do you need it? Yes, you do, because it is your home insurance. There isn't a special hazard insurance. Now, when you're talking commercially, that's a whole other story. But when it comes to a mortgage and hazard insurance, it's just a fancy term for your home insurance. So with that being said, if you have any other questions on this or like to get a hold of me, here is you can comment on the video. You can shoot me a Facebook message. Here's the phone number to the office, and here's my direct email. So I'll leave that on the screen so you can screenshot it real quick. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That answers the question. Do you need hazard insurance? And like we said, hazard insurance is just a mortgage term for home insurance. So if you do happen to get this letter, a letter similar to this, communicate with your agent. Let them know, hey, my lender needs this document with this information on it, and they should be able to take care of it pretty easy. So everyone have a great week. And again, it is supposed to be scorching hot today. A little bit cooler tomorrow, but keep in mind Labor Day weekend does seem to be a whole lot comfier. But if you do have elderly family, friends, neighbors, give them a call, go over, check on them, make sure they're okay. And with your furry friends and your fur babies, make sure they're not on. Obviously, don't leave them in the car, but make sure if you are taking them for a walk, you're not taking them on asphalt or anything to burn the little puppy paws. And if they are out, and just kind of make sure they're not outside for an extended period of time. So keep that in mind as we all bear through this, late August heat. And I will see you next week. And everyone stay safe.